Today we're looking at Titus chapter 2, the instructions to the young women, young mothers and wives, and how I think that in our American society they should be reversed and done backwards. Hello, my name is Jana. I am a working mother of 4 and a wife. And on this channel, I share things that I enjoy finding out for myself and how I am applying Bible to my life and how I am applying all of it within my work, marriage, and my motherhood and my home manager inner self. And so today I thought I would share something from Titus 2. I am sure a lot of us are familiar with the verse that is there are only few verses in the Bible that specifically clearly talk to the feminine role rather than the masculine, because a lot of the instruction obviously in the Bible applies both to the men and women equally. And then there's a few passages that specifically address the women with a little bit of unique perspective on their role within the world. And so this is specifically that passage, Titus 2. This is New Testament in the Bible, chapter 2 and verse 4 and 5. Verse 3 would say, older women teach younger women to be, and this is King James Version. There are multiple versions in the Bible and multiple translations. And so the King James Version says, teach young women, so young mothers, to be sober. And that's interesting because none of the other translations do mention the is it sobriety, to be sober, except for King James. So it says young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. And just out of the curiosity, let's read one more translation to give us a teeny bit more detail. I'm going to read the Amplified Bible because it has a lot of words in there and helps us to, I feel like from my brain, it's so fun for me to see like more words, what they mean, so that they may encourage the young women to tenderly love their husbands and their children, to be sensible, pure, makers of the home, in parentheses, where God is honored, good-natured, being subject to their own husband, so that the word of God will not be dishonored. And so normally, again, in American way of living, we always read instructions from 1 till 5, from 1 till 10, step by step by step. And I think the Bible is both instructional as well as cyclical as well as backwards. There are things just like 10 commandments. If you were to read 10 commandments, they go in the circle that one sin is caused by another and causes another sin. Just like when you get to the 10th commandment talking about jealousy, covetousness, when God commands covetousness not to be in our hearts, because covetousness is the idolatry. And so the covetousness goes, if you were to draw a circle with all the commandments, they kind of go into one another, cause one another, another reason for another. And then when you get to number 10, it basically is the number 1. It's the same one in a different expression, because idolatry, covetousness, is the thought that if you were to have that thing in your life, it would solve all of your issues. You would be happy, you would be satisfied, and you would need nothing else in your life. You would be happy. Well, that's never true. Nothing in this life is going to satisfy us except for God. And so when we covet something, it shows our heart. It is the idolatry. We think that the thing, the person, the event, the something, that thing is going to solve all of our problems. And it never will. Only God can do this. With all of our problems, we should not think that this thing is going to fix my problems. We always should go to God first and inquire with God, should we be working towards this thing, praying, Lord, can you give it to me? Is this necessary? Is that thing is needed in my life? And that's the thing, that with the Bible, every instructional piece should be always considered. I'm telling this to myself anytime that I'm reading. It's so important to not just read from top to bottom, but also bottom to top and as a whole, as well as a big picture within the whole Bible, how it all comes together. But anyways, going back now to these few verses, as I said, hopefully the understanding of what I mean by backwards. Now, yes, we do need to do all of those things to have a good, kind heart, because a Russian Bible says the discreet and chaste. The word is used kind. So we do want to have a kind, respectful heart to the people around us, as well as the God. To have the clean heart, chaste, sober, good-natured, God, where God is honored. So the heart is one, and then heart, the proper heart posture, I think that's the term that kind of is appropriate here. The way our heart stands will determine how we treat the people, our surroundings, people around us, as well as the physical things around us, be it the home that we own, be it the rental property, being it the hotel room, being the Airbnb, or our bathroom office, or like anywhere that we are. Our heart standing determines how we treat things around us, things and people. And so it is kind of easy to start to say, oh, if you have the right heart, then you will do everything right. And that is definitely correct. But also sometimes in our physical world, sometimes it's really hard to have a good attitude if you are either hungry or thirsty or stressed out. And I'm sure everybody up to right now heard that cluttered homes, dirty homes literally make women's cortisol levels higher than normal. So the cluttered, dirty, disorganized spaces make women stressed out more than they would be in the clean, organized spaces. And so now here we come to the physical around us, to the spaces that we are in. And for my personal approach, strategy, is that you have to apply all three at the same time, which is really hard. But also there is a step-by-step step-by-step instruction kind of that I applied in my life, is that take care of the home first while having a good attitude. You do want to have good attitude, because if you cleaned your home, organized your home while yelling at everybody else, it still is not as good as if you cleaned and decluttered and organized with good, kind comments and possibly encouragements for your kids to be the team and help you out. But at the same time, you don't have to involve anybody. That's the thing. The way I went around it for when I was going through my process is that I did not involve anybody to help me with decluttering my life, organizing my life, making sure that my mind is able to function in the space that I was in. And so I think for women, I think that's for a lot of women. I do not exactly know, because I have not talked to too many people, but I would suspect that my experience probably would translate really well to others as well, is that doing your home first, the decluttering, cleaning, organizing, setting the routines, making sure that your home runs as best as it can for the sanity level that you need. That would be the first thing, while also trying not to explode into people's faces who are around me. Keep my composure and good attitude as best as I could. And so having the home in the state that my nervous system is regulated then allows me to love my children well, because again, the husband's here as a first instruction as well as the last. Have you noticed that husbands starts with love your husband, and it ends with be obedient to your husband, be respectful to your husband. And so I think that it starts, the way to get your life to a peaceful scenario is that get your homes in order while having good attitude. Then you will be able to love your children, because I think the problem is, he's going to block the microphone. I hope you can hear me. Only when your home is in somewhat regulated state, only then you can love your children and not be so stressed out and yell at them and blame them for the systems that you have not set up. And again, I am so sorry. Anytime I say you, I always mean me. This is my experience that I am sharing with, because if something does not apply to you, you don't have to. This is my application of the Bible to my life. And if this is helpful to you, this is great. If not, you're very welcome to share your personal experience in the comment, and hopefully this can be helpful to somebody else. But what was I saying is, only when my home is in state of peace, then my nervous system is more at peace, and then I am more capable physically, not just like forcing myself to be, do not explode, don't yell at my children, pack their snacks and backpacks, and don't blame them for being late to a school bus, that kind of scenario, or like don't be late for the school drop-off before the door closes in school. Only when my home and my routines and my home organization is in order, only then I'm able to manage my children and help them stay regulated and be good at going through the day with the things that they need to be doing. And then only after my children are okay, only then I am able to love my husband and pay attention to his needs and his requests and his things. Especially in the Christian circles, everybody says God first, your husband second, your children third. Well, in the natural world, have not you know, why do you even have to say that if the natural world is not the opposite? That is why you have to pay attention to the Bible versus the natural set of things, because only then you can make it flowy and not like the stone. Understanding the natural and the biblical instruction, because biblical instruction always takes the natural and leads it into the right flow. And so Bible does it really well with those multiple circular instructions. And because our culture is not used to the circular instructions, I think we just like one by one, love your husband. And it's really difficult to love your husband when your dishes are not done, when the shoes are scattered all over the front door, and when your refrigerator is stained with dirty fingerprints, and your children are stinky and snotty and they need a bathtub, and your husband is asking you to sit with the couch with him, on the couch with him, or ask for something else. Would you say that this is a really difficult scenario for a woman to go through, that everything else is not done and then your husband is asking for something that he, like specifically his request. Nothing that normal things like the trash needs to be taken care of, even though the trash, we can, if that would be the case, that everything is exploding in my face in the physical world, and my husband would ask something, it would be really hard for me to keep my composure and to act lovingly, because also the love, what is love? Maybe that would be another video as well, but from my understanding is the actions, what do you do? Because the feeling is one thing, the act, what you do and what kind of attitude you present while doing it. So that is the idea that I'm hopefully explained somewhat well, is that yes, we're called to love our husbands, but only when you have a clean and organized home. Then only you're able to love your children well and take care of the educational, emotional, physical health, all of the needs that they have. Only then you can do that well. And only after your children are taken care of, then you can love your husband well. And I hope that all made sense to you. I hope this is encouraging to you. I hope you are able to take this well and go into your life and apply it. And you guys, I am hoping, I am not sure if I'm speaking too soon. I am hoping to create a training for the home managers, for a woman, for a wife, a mother, actually doesn't have to be a mother, the home management, life management training to help you. Yes, I'm sharing all of the things here on this channel, but I know how difficult it is to apply those things in real life, because one thing is knowing the things, the other thing is habit building and implementation in your real life. So I'm hoping to do a training. I do have a somewhat organized structure already to what I will be doing, and it will be a group mentorship to help women, us, to get our lives going in the proper direction, step by step, hand holding the hand. And if this sounds interesting, I hope my email list is working well. I did work, I'm sorry, technical things are challenging always. I think I'm okay with them, but I have not tested too many things. This is the first time I'm doing something like this. So if that sounds interesting, you can either get on my email list. Hopefully it's working. I'm not sending emails just yet. I'm pretty sure it's just collecting the emails in the email manager. And once I have some emails, then I probably will do an announcement when I'm somewhat ready to launch the mentorship, the coaching, the training group. So if that sounds interesting, make sure to either subscribe to stay up to date or get on the email list. I'm on Instagram, which I'm hoping to start posting at some point of time. Instagram is challenging at the moment of the recording. But you guys, I hope this was helpful. And hopefully, if you need more hand holding at some point of time for the house management, the house organization, hopefully at some point of time the training will be out. And otherwise, I hope to see you in my next video, God willing. I'm hoping to share the truths that I'm learning from the Bible for the woman's life management, as well as the things that are helping us day to day, the tricks and hacks and systems and organizations and the routines and habits that I am using in my life to have a sane, somewhat sane life as a busy working mother and wife. I hope to see you guys in my next one. Have a beautiful day and week. David, say bye-bye.